In today's episode, we're diving into one of the most talked about topics in global security: atomic and nuclear weapons. While often used interchangeably, these two terms have distinct meanings, histories, and implications. Stay with us as we uncover key differences between these powerful technologies and how they've shaped our world. Make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our deep dives into complex topics. What exactly are atomic weapons and nuclear weapons? Atomic weapons are based on nuclear fission, the process of splitting heavy atomic nuclei such as uranium-235 or plutonium-239 to release massive energy. Nuclear weapons, on the other hand, encompass both atomic fission weapons and thermonuclear fusion weapons. Thermonuclear weapons use fusion, the combining of light atomic nuclei, like hydrogen isotopes, to generate even greater energy. Atomic weapons, like those used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, rely purely on fission reactions. Fusion weapons, also known as hydrogen bombs, incorporate fission reactions to trigger the subsequent fusion process, exponentially increasing their destructive power. This fundamental difference is key to understanding their impact and roles in modern warfare. When were these weapons developed, and how did they change the course of history? Atomic weapons were first developed during World War II under the Manhattan Project, a secret US initiative that culminated in the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. These events demonstrated the devastating potential of fission-based weapons, effectively ending the war and introducing the nuclear age. Thermonuclear weapons emerged in the 1950s during the Cold War. Their development was driven by a race for supremacy between the United States and the Soviet Union. The first hydrogen bomb tested by the US in 1952 released an explosion hundreds of times more powerful than the atomic bombs of World War II. The transition from atomic to thermonuclear weapons marked a significant escalation in the global arms race, influencing geopolitical strategies and international treaties to this day. How much destruction can these weapons cause? Atomic weapons have energy yields measured in kilotons, equivalent to thousands of tons of TNT. The bomb dropped on Hiroshima, for example, had an explosive yield of 15 kilotons. Thermonuclear weapons, however, are exponentially more powerful, with yields measured in megatons, millions of tons of TNT. The Tsar Bomba, tested by the Soviet Union in 1961, remains the most powerful thermonuclear device ever detonated, with a yield of 50 megatons. Such destructive potential can obliterate entire cities and cause far-reaching environmental and atmospheric consequences. This significant difference in power underscores why thermonuclear weapons are considered a far greater threat to global stability. What makes these weapons work? Atomic weapons rely on a chain reaction of nuclear fission. When a neutron strikes a heavy nucleus like uranium-235, it splits, releasing energy and additional neutrons that continue the chain reaction. This rapid process generates the massive explosion characteristic of atomic bombs. Nuclear weapons, hydrogen bombs, incorporate a two-stage mechanism. The first stage uses fission to generate the heat and pressure needed to initiate the fusion process in the second stage. This fusion of hydrogen isotopes releases far greater energy. The intricate mechanics of thermonuclear weapons represent a leap in scientific and engineering innovation, though with devastating consequences. What fuels these powerful weapons? Atomic weapons use fissile materials like uranium-235 or plutonium-239. These elements are selected for their ability to sustain a nuclear chain reaction. Thermonuclear weapons require both fissile materials for the initial reaction and isotopes of hydrogen such as deuterium and tritium for the fusion process. These materials must be stored in specific conditions and are far more challenging to produce and handle than the materials for atomic weapons. The differences in materials directly influence the complexity, cost, and destructive power of these weapons. How are these weapons deployed in warfare? Atomic weapons were initially delivered using bomber aircraft, as seen with the Enola Gay over Hiroshima. These weapons required manual targeting and significant preparation. Modern thermonuclear weapons, however, are integrated into advanced delivery systems, including intercontinental ballistic missiles (ICBMs), submarine-launched ballistic missiles (SLBMs), and stealth bombers. These systems are designed for rapid deployment and precise targeting, often carrying multiple warheads. This evolution in delivery systems reflects the shift from regional to global strategic capabilities. What roles do these weapons play in global defense strategies? Atomic weapons were initially developed as tools of war, as demonstrated in World War II. However, their immense destructive power shifted their role to deterrence rather than active use. This is especially true with thermonuclear weapons, which are central to the concept of mutually assured destruction (MAD). Countries with nuclear capabilities often use these weapons as a means of securing their sovereignty and deterring potential aggressors. Policies like no first use and the development of second strike capabilities reflect efforts to stabilize nuclear tensions. These strategic differences between atomic and thermonuclear weapons often shape national policies. For example, nations with only atomic weapons may focus on regional defense, while those with thermonuclear arsenals project power on a global scale. Well viewers, if you didn't subscribe to our channel yet, please subscribe now. What are the environmental consequences of these weapons? Both atomic and thermonuclear weapons cause severe environmental damage. Atomic explosions release radioactive isotopes that contaminate the air, water, and soil. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki left long-term effects, including radiation sickness and genetic mutations in survivors. Thermonuclear weapons amplify these issues, with larger explosions causing significant atmospheric disruptions, including nuclear fallout and potential nuclear winters. Such scenarios involve ash and debris blocking sunlight, drastically lowering global temperatures and impacting agricultural productivity. The environmental consequences highlight the global risks of nuclear warfare, reinforcing the importance of disarmament and non-proliferation efforts. What are the financial implications of developing these weapons? The development and maintenance of atomic and thermonuclear weapons require significant financial resources. Programs like the Manhattan Project cost billions of dollars, adjusted for inflation, and modern nuclear arsenals demand even greater investments. These expenses include research and development, manufacturing of fissile materials, testing, and maintaining delivery systems. For example, the US spends billions annually on its nuclear triad, which includes bombers, submarines, and ICBMs. While nations justify these costs as necessary for national security, critics argue that such funds could be better spent on social programs, infrastructure, and climate initiatives. The economic impact often extends beyond national budgets, influencing global arms trade and non-proliferation funding. How are these weapons regulated globally? International treaties aim to control the spread and use of atomic and thermonuclear weapons. Key agreements include the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons (NPT), which prevents the spread of nuclear weapons, and the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty (CTBT), which bans all nuclear explosions for military or civilian purposes. Other agreements like the START treaties between the US and Russia focus on reducing the number of nuclear warheads. These treaties reflect global efforts to prevent nuclear escalation and ensure security. However, compliance varies, and some nations like North Korea have openly defied these agreements. Global governance in nuclear regulation highlights both progress and challenges in managing these powerful weapons. What happens if these weapons fall into the wrong hands? The proliferation of atomic and thermonuclear weapons is a significant global concern. If more nations or non-state actors acquire these technologies, the risk of conflict increases dramatically. Nations with less stable governments or extremist groups could use these weapons irresponsibly. The black market for nuclear materials poses another threat, as it facilitates unauthorized access to fissile materials and weapon designs. Efforts to prevent proliferation include international monitoring, export controls, and disarmament programs. The challenge remains ensuring compliance and addressing the loopholes in these systems. What moral dilemmas do these weapons raise? The use of atomic and thermonuclear weapons raises profound ethical questions. Is it justifiable to possess weapons capable of wiping out millions of lives? These dilemmas often pit national security against humanitarian values. Critics argue that the sheer destructive potential of these weapons make their existence unethical. Survivors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki have long called for disarmament, citing the inhumane suffering caused by these bombs. Proponents, however, claim that their deterrent effect prevents larger conflicts. This debate highlights the complex interplay between ethics, security, and international politics. What does the future hold for these weapons? As technology advances, so does the complexity of atomic and thermonuclear weapons. Innovations in delivery systems, miniaturization, and cyber warfare are reshaping their role in global security. At the same time, international efforts toward disarmament and non-proliferation continue. The growing public and political pressure for denuclearization reflects a desire for a safer, more stable world. The future of these weapons will depend on global cooperation, technological innovation, and the ability of nations to prioritize peace over power. That wraps up a deep dive into the key differences between atomic and nuclear weapons. These powerful technologies have shaped history and continue to influence global security today. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more educational content.